Hello class, this is Mr. Poole and I am going to read the science test to you today. Please follow carefully. If you need me to slow down, you can always pause the video and go at your own pace. Please read or listen to the question twice to make sure you understand the question and then choose the best answer. All right, do your best, guys. And remember, pause the video if you need to pause it and slow it down. All right, here we go. Here is question number 1. The table lists some traits of the 3 plants. Plant 1, roots are shallow and widespread. Plant expands to store water after rain. Plant 2, leaves are small, leaves have thick waxy coating. Plant 3, leaves fall from the plant in dry weather. Roots release nutrients into soil. It says, all the plants listed in the table are most likely adapted to which environment? Is it swamp, Arctic, desert, or forest? So all plants listed in the table are most likely adapted to which environment? Okay, so look at the traits again and then answer the question. All right, next question. It says, which sentence describes the interaction of the white-tailed deer with both living and non-living parts of the ecosystem? Is it the white-tailed deer hides behind a rock and uses the heat from the sun to stay warm? Is it B, the white-tailed deer protects its fawn from predators and shows the fawn how to find food? Is it C, the white-tailed deer rubs its antlers on the tree and leaves and eats leaves from the tree? Or is it D, the white-tailed deer eats grass in a field and drinks water from a pond? It says, which sentence describes the interaction of white-tailed deer with both living and non-living parts of its ecosystem? Okay, choose the best answer. We're going to go to the next page. All right, it's number 25 here. It says, some of the characteristics of the tundra are described. Okay. Long winters with temperatures at minus 34 degrees Celsius. Less than 25 centimeters of precipitation each year. Thin layer of topsoil covers the frozen ground. Some types of plants found in the mosses, grasses are small shrubs and trees. Based on the description, which pair of animals is least likely to live in the tundra? So which pair of those animals is least likely to live in the tundra based on these characteristics right here that I read? These 4 characteristics. Okay, which is least likely to live in the tundra? Okay, and if you didn't know, the tundra is cold weather. It's cold. All right, question number 32. It says, aquatic plants have adaptations that help them live in water. For example, the structure needed for making food are located on the tops of the floating plant leaves. The adaptation helps the plants F, absorb sunlight, G, stay anchored, H, avoid predators, or J, capture fish. Okay, so it says, for example, the structure needed for making food are located at the tops of the floating plant leaves. Okay, this adaptation helps them F, absorb sunlight, G, stay anchored, H, avoid predators, or J, capture fish. Okay, next question. Number 12. It says, students study barracudas. They gather some observations of barracudas. A barracuda is shown. Which observation describes barracudas interacting with the living elements of their ecosystem? Is it F, barracudas can travel quickly using surface ocean currents? Is it G, barracudas live around hard structures such as oil rigs and jetties? Is it H, barracudas are predators of other fish? Is it J, barracudas tend to live in warm waters? Which observation describes barracudas interacting with the living elements of their ecosystem? All right, number 28. In a food chain, energy does not flow directly from... So in a food chain, energy does not flow directly from producer to consumer, producer to consumer, H, consumer to decomposer, or J, consumer to producer. In a food chain, energy does not flow directly from F, producer to decomposer, producer to decomposer, G, producer to consumer, H, consumer to decomposer, or J, consumer to producer. All right, number 33. It says, many gardeners use red worms like one shown in the photograph to turn vegetable and fruit scraps into topsoil for plants. The gardeners built a worm farm in a large container lined with old newspaper and filled with moist garden soil. The worms eat about half their body weight daily and produce waste that can be used to plant fertilizer. The container for the worm farm needs to have a lid, but the lid must be left partially open because worms require which of the following in order to survive? So worms need A, oxygen, B, sunlight, C, carbon dioxide, or D, all of these. Which does a worm need to survive? Is it A, oxygen, B, sunlight, C, carbon dioxide, or D, all of these? All right, next one. It says, a food web of a grassland ecosystem is shown. Which organisms rely on the same food source? So which organisms rely on the same food source? Is it F, snakes and hawks? Is it H, mice and snakes? Is it G, rabbits and lizards? Or is it J, grasshoppers and lizards? So which organisms rely on the same food source? All right, choose your best answer on that one. Then go to number 13. It says, a dinosaur fossil is shown. Which question can scientists most likely answer from studying the fossil of the dinosaur? So this fossil right here, which question can scientists answer? Is it A, what was the pattern of skin on the dinosaur? Is it B, What was the type of food the dinosaur ate? Is it C, how fast was the heart of the dinosaur beating? Was it D, how many eggs were in the nest of the dinosaur? What could the scientists answer from looking at that picture or that fossil? Okay, choose the best answer, then go on to the next question. The next question is a food web. There's a food web shown. It says, how many carnivores are represented in the desert food web? How many carnivores? Is there A2, B3, C4, or D5? How many carnivores? How many carnivores are represented in the desert food web? The next question down here at the bottom says, a student makes a list to describe a friend. Which of the listed characteristics is a learned behavior? Select 2 correct answers. Is a learned behavior brown eyes, draws well, has freckles, reads daily, or blonde hair? Which 2 are learned behaviors? Which 2 are learned behaviors? Choose 2 answers. Is it brown eyes, draws well, has freckles, reads daily, or blonde hair? Okay, go on to the next question. A food chain is shown. There's your food chain. It says, which role do grasses have in the food chain? Which role do grasses have in the food chain? A, they decompose small organisms to produce energy. B, they prevent the food chain from containing too many carnivores. C, they capture the energy from the sun and are food for the consumers. Or D, they break down dead organisms into simpler substances. So which role do grasses have in the food chain? Choose your best answer. All right, then we have a question down below that. It says, unlike humans, otters have special flaps that close their nostrils and ears. These flaps help otters survive in the environment that is. Is it A, terrestrial, B, snowy, C, windy, D, aquatic? It says, unlike humans, otters have special flaps that close their nostrils and ears. These flaps help otters survive in the environment that is A, terrestrial, B, snowy, C, windy, D, aquatic. Okay, choose the best answer and then go on to number 29. It says, a group of students at the park used a collecting net to capture several insects. The teacher transferred the insects to small terrariums that allowed the students to observe the insects before releasing them outside. Each of the following characteristics is likely an inherited trait except, so 3 of them are inherited traits, 1 of them is not an inherited trait. Is it A, a fly's missing antenna, B, a butterfly's black and yellow stripes, C, a dragonfly's 2 sets of wings, or D, a beetle's green spots? Which one is not an inherited trait? Okay, is it A, a fly's missing antenna, B, a butterfly's black and yellow stripes, C, a dragonfly's 2 sets of wings, or D, a beetle's green spots? Question number 15. the foot of a hawk and the foot of a chicken are shown. Here's the hawk. Here's the chicken. Okay? The difference between the shapes of their feet is most likely associated with, is it A, predators that hunt them, B, climate in which they live, is it C, way they get their food, is it D, the distance they can fly? So the difference between the shapes of their feet is most likely associated with A, predators that hunt them, B, climate in which they live, C, way they get their food, D, distance they can fly. And the last question, number 34. It says, some animals, such as lions, have pointed teeth, while other animals, such as cattle, have flat teeth. The difference in the shape of these animals' teeth is most closely related to F, the type of organisms the animals consume, G, the sound the animals make, H, the habitat the animals live in, or J, the type of predators the animals have. The difference in the shape of the animal's teeth is most closely related to F, the type of organisms the animals consume, G, the sounds the animals make, H, the habitat the animals live in, J, the type of predators the animals have. All right, that is your test for today. I hope you listened carefully, and I hope you answered the best you can. Okay, make sure to check over all your answers. Make sure you have an answer for each question, and then make sure your name is on your paper, and then hand it in to me. All right, good luck. Have a good day.